Well, hello, YouTube. I suppose this is my Saturday night live stream. Chill Saturday night live stream, that is, as the title suggests. And, yeah, just, chilling. Kinda waiting to see who all joins and who all wants to chat. Honestly, when I do these live streams, I don't really have a lot planned for them, which, you know, I guess seems kind of stupid, but for me, I kind of just want to, like, talk to you guys, and, like, if you all want to ask me questions or something, it's probably the time to do that. Last stream was pretty good about that. We had a few people join. That was fun. So far, I have no chats. What a shame. Let's see what we're doing here. Apparently, we have 2 concurrent viewers. Well, hello. Well, since I don't really have any actual topic to talk about, I suppose I will talk about my life right now. I don't know. Really not much is going on. I think right now, if I'm really being honest, I feel pretty just low. Not like sad low a little bit, but really just kind of like neutral, if that makes any sense. Like, I feel like there's... Okay, good. I thought my microphone was muted for a second. I feel like there's a lot of I don't know how to describe it, but I feel like there's just a lot of stuff going on in the world right now. And we probably all feel this way, but there's just a lot of stuff going on in the world right now. My life just changed drastically, and I don't know. It's been hard to kind of make videos lately because, like, really political videos, because I'm just trying to... I don't want to release videos that are, like, you know, not really worth your time. I don't know if it makes any sense. I want to release videos that are a little, just at least have some value to them, which it sounds very obvious, but you know, it's kind of a mix-up. It's like, do I want to release a video almost every night because that helps the algorithm, that helps my channel, but it also, you know, you got to be careful, like, if you're going to release a video or do a live stream or something, you want to make sure it kind of means something, but I don't know. I'm hoping we have some people join. Jeez, seems like it's kind of a low stream. That one stream I got lucky. You got a ton of people joining. It's Saturday night. I mean, it is. I just realized it's dinner time. People are like not going to watch my stream right now because they're just like, dude, I'm going to get something to eat. Maybe we should come back. Maybe I should leave for a while. It'll be something to eat. I don't know. Come back, whatever. Maybe it's more appropriately timed. I was going to probably do something earlier today, but I got caught up in something else. I'm trying to work on a project for someone, so unfortunately that meant I had to deal with that. I do not want to talk to myself for like 2 hours, so if like in 10 minutes nobody joins, then I will probably end the stream. Because I do not want to talk to myself for 2 hours, I gotta be honest. It's I don't like talking when there's no one chatting. It's just kind of awkward. I hope you understand. Y'all kind of help these streams when you chat, because it's like I can kind of keep the topics flowing. You know, it's not like I'm just trying to make up bullshit to talk about. So, interesting. Wonder why. I guess it's just because dinner time. I don't know. That's perhaps why. But whatever. What else? What could I talk about? What could I be talking about that is worth your all's time while I'm sitting here waiting for people to join? I'm trying to avoid the Minneapolis shooting, to be honest. I mean, I guess we could talk about that, but I mean, I feel like it's just bad, you know. And I think everybody kind of feels the same way about it. Everybody kind of knows, like, this is a step, and maybe that's like good news behind that, if there is any good news, which I don't know. Kind of hard to say that, but with the Minneapolis shooting, it's like, at least people are really starting to understand that this is a problem. I mean, when the administration is sitting there saying, "Oh, you know, look, she tried to run him over," and when clearly the video, we have like multiple angles of video that just completely show that's not true, you know. And people are noticing that, and they're speaking up about that. Even people that are on the right are saying, you know, that doesn't make any sense. So if for that reason, it's good, because, or else if that was not happening, if people were really just for some reason buying into the bullshit that Trump is and his supporters were saying, or really what Vance even said, that would be a real problem. So at least people are awake and aware about the issues. I believe it or not, that's already a really good thing. Obviously, we need to be doing more stuff about it, but you know, the only issue I have really is that we didn't do enough about it in 2024. Sorry, it just at some point you have to just accept that we're at where we're at right now because people voted the wrong way in 2024, and all we can do now is just try to do better in the future. You know, elect proper people, the proper people we need in midterms, and call your senators and tell them, hey, someone actually liked the stream. Okay, cool. So there's people watching, but y'all are just like, y'all ain't chatting. Maybe you are, I don't know. Y'all just be awkward. Like, no, we're too shy. You guys should say something in chat. You should talk to me, man. Don't be scared. Don't be nervous. It's okay. I'm not gonna bite. But yeah, the Minneapolis stuff. Again, good news is for that. Not trying to say anything is good about that, but except for the fact that people really aren't believing this regime propaganda about, oh well, you know, she tried to run him over. No, that's not true. We all know it's not true, and people are really being pretty open about how that's just not true. So, very good news there as far as people are at least understanding it. Another piece of good news, oddly, is at least in IT, I'm starting to see a lot more jobs being posted. I'm kind of taking notice of that now. Of course, I'm looking for stuff, but I'm also trying to. I'm kind of half and half. I mean, if the right opportunity comes up, then I'll take it. But if, you know, I'm also open to trying to make my own way at my businesses. So I am obviously, of course, looking at the job market, and it seems like things are kind of ramping up a little bit here, which is good. So maybe there's some good news this for 2026. I mean, not that Trump or anyone of those Republicans are deserved for any of that, but I mean, they're not getting credit for it. I'm not going to give them credit for it. So apparently chat rate just went up to 1, but I'm not seeing a chat. Hold on. What is happening? Oh, I'm sorry. My chat was set up wrong. It's a fact we're here because 15 minutes. Sorry about it. I literally just now saw your chat. Reen Tech. Yeah, sorry about that. My chat was all messed up. Let's see what you're saying. In fact, we're here because 15 minutes people set out the election. Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's true. Yeah, they're finding out. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, here's the thing. People are, and that's what I made those videos a month ago or so about the AI stuff. AI it's not going away, but it's not going to be like this. I think people overreact to stuff like that. It's not like this insane, oh no, AI is gonna be here, and it's gonna take all our jobs and things like that. It really won't. I mean, companies are gonna try to do whatever they can to use it, to make it work for them, but they're not gonna, there is a limit to what you can replace with when it comes to people. I mean, sorry, not sorry. That's just the way it is. They're going to try, sure. Honestly, the one place I think that, to be honest with you, the one place I think that AI will replace before anything else is going to be like fast food. Like robotics, really. Which is sort of kind of AI, sort of not. Of course, they're going to use AI with robotics, but yeah. I think that fast food is going to be like the thing that really is replaced before any really thing else is, like, fully. Like, we're like, you just can't get a job in fast food anymore because, like, well, sorry, robots can make. And I'm not sure I'm upset about that either, because let's be real, like, when I go through McDonald's and they mess up my order, I'm like, a robot could have done this better. I'm sorry. I'm sure that I know that's mean, but I don't know. I'm not trying to say that everybody at McDonald's is bad. I'm just saying that, when my order is kind of messed up, I'm just like, what if we had this automated? I always think that. Yeah, AOV useful tool. Yeah, House Sparks was streaming CS this week. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I also think that, here's the other thing too. AI is not the complete cause for all this shit with the economy, okay? People like to blame AI, but you know who else is really, again, remember, where does society get its talking points? It gets it from the higher up, right? Understand that social media is manipulated from your bigwigs up top, right? They know what they need to get done, so they manipulate it however they want, and we all rely on it. So AI is one of those things that is often blamed for a bad economy, when in reality we have Republicans that are just trashing the economy because of the bad policies they're putting in place. Like, honestly, like normal. But they don't want to take the blame for the economy, so it's easy just to blame it on this AI stuff. When in reality, what's really funny too is that the same people that are pushing the AI stuff is usually the right. Well, unregulated AI, that is them. So, but yeah, it's there's not really a reason to blame AI for all this job loss. I mean, it's also, I mean, let's be real, a lot of people now are detecting the difference between, like, it's not exactly difficult to detect the difference between artificial intelligence and, like, a real piece. Like if you look at a song, right? You can sort of tell when something is AI and something isn't still. And sometimes it's harder, sure, but I mean, sorry, not sorry, I can still kind of tell. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. And there's some good stuff that AI puts out too, not gonna lie. I mean, I like, there's some songs like that AI's put out there, but I mean, I also really love my just normal artists that I've always listened to, so. The one thing that AI does do that I really appreciate is remixes. And I know that's going to be a hot take, but for the longest time I relied on, like, crappy, stand-up YouTube channels to do remixes that did if they did a good job on the song, it was like a poorly mixed track, like sound-wise. And AI is much better at that than people traditionally have been. Sorry, not sorry. Right now, 3 months ago, you can pick up the new officials and artifacts and videos, but it's getting closer to being invested. Yeah, I mean, it's going to get better, and honestly, at some point, it will be indistinguishable for sure. I mean, I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying. I mean, even then, though, if there's. It's kind of like anything, right? Let's say you really like this. Like, there was one song that actually got me. It was so well done that I thought it was a real band, right? It was AI. And so I start looking up it. I'm like, start looking at this band. I'm like, wow, I want to see what other stuff they've posted, right? So you look up the artist, right? and this artist simply, you can't find them. They don't exist. Like, you just don't know where this song came from. And then I found another copy or another place the song had been posted, and that was listed as AI. And so it's like, if you just literally look it up, even if it is very convincing, you usually find that it's either a real band or a real person doing this, where it's not. You know, because you can't really find a direct source to where this came from. My point is, those hyping it have a vested interest in protecting themselves because their bunkers will only do so much. Yeah. I don't know. I think that it's a horrible time for the world right now. But here's my thing, guys. People have made it through some shit times in the past, you know. And here we are. All right? Like, not like this right now, but even beyond those shit times, right? So it's like, I don't... Maybe this sounds a little bit too passive or optimistic, and I'm not. To be honest, I'm still fearful for a lot of bad things we can continue to go through, and we have taken a major step back in this past year. Again, don't get me wrong, but I don't think we're gonna. I think after a good decade or two, things will be a little bit, you know, smoothed out again. I mean, so. I'm not saying don't do anything. Obviously, we all have to work towards that, right? That's what that means. But, I mean, it's not like it's impossible. It's an impossible goal, is my point. Elon's defense on FSD claims from a few years ago was deepfakes. I mean, yeah. I mean, Elon... Dude, anything that Elon Musk does is pretty much a fake. I've not seen a damn thing that Elon does that I really care to... I don't know. I mean, anything he does that's anywhere legit, he didn't originally like do. Like Tesla is not originally his, but he bought it out. Tokens strung together in predictable patterns. There's also talk of binary-based systems. Honestly, I think, if you want my opinion is this. This next, like, decade, from, like, 2025 to, like, 2035, we're going to have to go through some shit and then come back out of it. And then I think after that, we're going to, like, accelerate. That's often how things go, right? Like, people learn, okay, that wasn't the best idea. We won't do things like that again. But, you know... Then you have a couple generations that know, don't do this, don't do that. You know, kind of like, you know, post the World War II, the Nazi stuff. Sorry, not sorry. You know, we had a big boom in the economy, at least here in the United States, just because we didn't want any kind of war or conflict or anything, so we kind of stayed away from it for at least a little while. Of course, got back into the Korean War and stuff, but for a little while there, we had a kind of an economic boom because people were more interested in progress than they were in conflict, right? Right now, it's the opposite. People have got used to that, you know, towards the latter years of the 20th century, and then, you know, into the 21st century, we had a little bit of time where things are okay again, but people get bored, you know. People get bored. It's not a good thing. Because then they cause problems on purpose because they're bored, right? And then that, you know, it's kind of like this pattern, right? That's how time works. It's like a wave pattern, and then it's slowly going up, right? Because we're not going to go all the way back to the Dark Ages where we had, like, you know, kings, queens, and shit like that, and these different kingdoms. No, but we could go back a little bit, but then we'll, you know, go back and then we'll keep moving up. We're always moving up and upward, I should say. Just while we're going up, it's the slow, methodical thing. Well, that being said, though, the one thing that will probably end us would be climate change, which we're not talking about anymore because that's not, unfortunately, on many people's radars right now. That could be a problem for us, you know. But if we can somehow figure that out too, then we're going to go. in my honest opinion. Yeah. Well, I guess with nothing else in mind right now, I'm going to move my stuff over there for a second. Open up another tab here. Or a private window, maybe. And, is there anything interesting on the news right now? That's a horrible thing to ask at the moment. What's this stuff going on in Iran? Or whatever. I don't know. How's the quality of life there? Are folks talking? What do you mean by that? Are you talking about, like, in America? Or are you from TJ O'Mara 3812? Yes. So... Okay. Okay, so here's how I would summarize it. You still have... Oh, Central Colorado. Okay, fair enough. So here in Missouri, then, I should say. I guess you're not from Europe, so you're not asking, like, in overall. Here's what I would say. In Missouri, people are pretty hush-hush about it until you have essentially opened up to them what your views are, and then they kind of then spill the beans. And I honestly don't push people. I kind of know how to read people around here to kind of tell whether or not they probably lean one way or the other, right? And some people are pretty neutral. I got to tell you, though, that not a lot of people are openly talking, just blowing up like it's a big deal. It's still kind of hush-hush unless you are essentially opening up to them like, hey, what do you think about XYZ? You know, what do you think about Venezuela and things like that? Then they'll kind of talk honestly about it. Because the problem is there's so many people that just... They don't really... They're so scared to talk and open up. And that's kind of, again, one of the reasons why I'm doing this YouTube channel is because I feel like we need to normalize, at least here in the Midwest. We have a problem with that here in the Midwest. We need to normalize talking to people, you know, speaking up and just making it okay to talk about politics, right? It's okay to disagree, too. You know, get back to a point where things aren't as radical and extreme, which I realize sounds kind of stupid right now to even talk about, but I just think that's what we got to do, you know? We got to be... I think it shouldn't be as radical and extreme. And until we get to that, I think we're going to keep having these issues. Because if people aren't talking properly, they're not really... I mean, like, someone might have wanted to vote for Trump, and I might have been able to tell them, well, let me explain this to you, you know, that to you, that kind of thing. You know, it's not always going to change their mind, but... Yeah. So to answer your question overall, I would say people are still kind of hush-hush. I don't know. What's it like there in Colorado? Be curious to know. TJ says, we've become so polarized. The nearest city to me is Colorado Springs, which is fairly Republican. So are they not saying... So they it sounds like, if I'm understanding this correctly, they are talking, but it's like half and half, and a lot of people are still heavily in support of this regime. Like half the people. Is that what I'm understanding? Folks are real defensive. It's not... Yeah... I'm not sure which way's better. I feel like maybe talking is better. I don't know. Could be stressful, though. Like, what would you say is the average number of people that are in support of? Like, are they leaning more left or leaning more right in Colorado right now? Seen fights break out over facts folks don't want to hear. That's not... I mean... I don't want any kind of fighting. I would like discussion, not fighting. I think peaceful protesting, peaceful discussions, even in the ways, even if people are saying they support horrible things, I mean, if you really want to get upset about that, which I mean, to be fair, it's upsetting, I would say that you're probably better off just ignoring them. which sounds contrary to what I just said, but I mean, if they're just refusing to basically give them what the facts are and then just traditional facts seem to be sinking in, it's getting harder to defend this. Yeah. I mean, I just don't. I think that, honestly, I think the Minneapolis shooting is. I don't like any kind of news right now that takes away from the Epstein files. I feel like we should really be kind of honing in back on that, even if Trump, because Trump is all this shit is going to be happening. He's causing unrest to shift the focus, and I think people really understand that. As serious as this is, it's also. Oh, I don't give it. Your typing's fine, man. Don't worry about it. I can figure it out. Like that, we need to be focusing more on the Epstein files because he was really pissed about that. And sorry that we could use some him getting pissed about that. It seems good. Yeah. Yep. I don't really care to focus the Epstein files, by the way. Besides, I think it's politically damaging to Donald Trump, and I think again a lot of this is to distraction. Is really what I think a lot of it is. I mean, I don't know. I don't know that guy is, or honestly, I think even another part of it is that guy just does not. He's not well in the head. I mean, that listening to Trump, it just he's not good at talking. He's not. Well, I appreciate you watching my videos, man. Like I said, hopefully I'm kind of in this lump right now, like I was saying at the beginning of the stream, where I'm just feeling kind of like, not like sad low, just neutral low, if it makes any sense, where I'm like, my brain isn't fully turned on, if that makes any sense. And I think it's kind of a mixture of things. It's all the crap going on in the world right now, and then, you know, my personal life kind of taking a big change right now, but yeah, I definitely want to make some better videos and just keep working on that. I made my first 2 thumbnails in GIMP recently. That was kind of fun. But I don't know. It's hard to... God, it's just... I want to talk... I want my videos to be an interesting spin on things, not just talking about the current news. Because there's so much of that already, and I just don't know how I'd stand out by doing just that, you know. A little bit of that, yes, but... I like to be a little more of an overall average, you know, here's what this really means on the long run kind of thing, than just, oh my god, did you see this? You know, I mean, of course, yeah, we've all seen it by now, duh, you know. So, but that can be kind of challenging, because I need, you know, I have to think how I'm going to do something, or like, do my homework in a couple hours before I go on camera, that kind of thing. Missouri has mounds and cities that go back to year 0, about 500 BCE. Just saying, because we were not immune from collapsing. Oh, yeah. Missouri is... Oh, yeah, no, we're not immune from collapsing. And I don't mean, when I say that things will get better, that the United States won't change into something else, do a lot of changing. The United States has gone through insane changes already in its very long history. Well, very long history for us. But... or maybe the United States will break up. I don't know. Fuck Trump. Yeah. Hey, I can agree with that comment. What else is there to say? I agree. I think it's obvious that ICE killed that woman in Minnesota, but unfortunately you have state regime media saying that it did not happen. And that is scary, but again, like I was saying earlier, the other side of that coin is that people are seeing that that is not okay. You know, it's you're not going to just tell us that it didn't happen. It's right in front of our faces. How has someone who is 80 years old caused so much trouble? You know, I remember just a short little while ago when Joe Biden was in power. And one of the big talking points that the Republicans, the radical Republicans, were trying to use was, oh, sleepy old Joe, sleepy old Joe. And to be fair, I mean, the guy was old. I'm not really defending him fully in that way. But now you don't hear a peep from them about Trump. I mean, Trump will be literally older by the time his term is up. He's already almost as old as Biden was. He has fallen apart faster than Biden is. And yet, we're sitting here just the Republicans are acting like Trump is just God whenever he is probably worse off than Biden was in his last year of his term. I mean, drowsy Donald, you know, dementia drowsy Donald, or whatever the fuck kind of crafty name we can come up for him. I'm not even sure what Trump is worried about. God bless Charlie Kirk. I'm not a Charlie Kirk fan. I gotta be honest. I think Charlie Kirk and the Republicans and Trump all lump into the same thing. But that's okay. I've already seen your message. You can't retract it now. 8-year-old body, 2-year-old mind. Yeah, I mean the worst of both worlds. I mean, I don't know. I truly think that there's a thing where that Americans, or not Americans, but at least Republicans, sure, those Americans, they say all this horrible shit about Democrats. They blame them for this and that, and then you turn around and do the very same thing. They're like the biggest hypocrites on the fucking planet. I don't know. It is what it is. I'm 54 and I just wait to see some legislation free from corporate influence that benefits the general population. Yeah. I think we need to get back to that. I do. And I think we can. I think the problem is that people need to be more excited, which sounds silly, but people need to be, seriously though, people need to be more excited about the legislative process, about how laws get put into place, and because so many people, you talk to people and they just have such a severe lack of understanding about how the government actually works, and for that reason they're so scared of it. It's so alien to them, and I'm like, dude, it's really not that difficult to understand how all this stuff works. I mean, it's complicated, it's tedious, I guess, but it's not the end of the world. It's not the hardest possible thing to learn. It's just, learning all the tedious process and things like that. And honestly, corporations have made it tedious on purpose to make it more difficult. And the only way to stop that from happening is to sincerely, just as people, show we are interested in these things, and that'll shift a lot of things. Yep. Trump will not retire, my friend. That's just Trump will not retire. There's no way around that. He is not that kind of person. Trump will not ever resign because he's done a horrible job. Trump is not. He doesn't have that kind of ability. Like no. Like if people again, I literally just did this myself. My boss thought I did a horrible job at my job, which I know I did not, but. Long story short, he believed that I wasn't so hot, and so I'm like, okay, fine. I resign. If you really truly don't like what I do here, I don't want to be here either, man. But, Trump is not like that. He can't be told that he's doing a bad job without, I don't know. He simply won't believe it. Dispositionally incapable, yeah. General public seems lower end of the bell curve. Yeah, and honestly, again, we as people really like, and again, I'll say this over and over again, we as people love convenience, right? We love the convenience of being able, I don't know, name anything. If it's convenient, it's nice. And so it's not convenient to watch Congress, to read all these different bills, to see how all these processes work. But it is convenient to turn on the news and have some other talkhead explain it to you in layman's terms. The issue with that is everything getting translated over correctly, right? That's why I say if you're on here and you're listening to me claim something or say something, I would recommend looking it up. Not that I'm saying I'm wrong. I'm just saying that I could be doing this wrong. You know, I don't know. I mean, and I do not ever will never have a problem with someone fact checking my ass. I have no problem with that. Half the time I talk out of my ass, I say something incorrectly. So not that I mean to, just you know, it's just billionaires on the airwaves. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's and of course for them, they are going to, on purpose, you know, set the standard for what it gets out there. So, you know, it's one of those things where don't believe everything you hear on the news. That's a quiet old saying, but it is what it is, and it's because they do not. They have an agenda of what they want to get accomplished. So, oh man, it's not convenient for people, and that's the reality. They don't want to hear. They don't want to focus. They don't want to pay attention to their homework, and so they'd rather listen to someone explain it to them. And I mean that's good. That's what I'm honestly trying to do is explain that to people. But how do you see combating that? Honestly, people. This is gonna sound literally ironic in a way, but people like me, I'm trying to help people. I hope to help people with this YouTube channel. You know, better understand their government, better understand how things work. I think that's really all. I think at this point, educating people, and that's really all we can do, because they're not going to reach out for themselves and do it. I think they've kind of gotten too used to things being given to them, and so you have to kind of make it cool again to fact check. You know, I don't know. And I think that's the idea. That or people just get so flippin' tired of things that they start doing it themselves, but I don't likely see that happening. So. Yeah, I mean, anyone in the Trump regime, if you are still, like, involved with Trump in any way, if you are still supportive of Trump in any way, I don't. It's obvious you're not a good person. I'm sorry. It's just obvious. I don't know what to tell you. That's just obvious. If you still support Trump or like him or are involved with him in any way, it is just simply obvious you are not a good person. I know that sounds mean, and it kind of is, but I mean, look at what the fuck is happening right now, and if you still support that, that's. In any other time in this country, you would have been basically told straight up, yeah, that's fucked. Why? What are you talking about? Right? They would likely have thrown you in a brig for that shit. You know, like in a mental hospital. But instead, you're not. Yeah, see you later, man. Yeah, I need to schedule these live streams. I feel like these live streams are going to be kind of weak until I actually like have a schedule that everybody can see. Or like what I mean with that is like, you know, you can schedule the live stream where it shows up in your subscriptions. And so that way people see it ahead of time so that they're kind of planning for it maybe if they really want to join. Because me kind of saying I'll be on this day and then it's kind of randomly timed and then I do it around dinner time, I feel like that's kind of a recipe for not going to work. But that's okay. Honestly, again, I was kind of... My schedule's kind of off today anyway. I've been kind of trying to deal with another project right now that kind of went long in the tooth, so I didn't have a lot of time anyway. I try to educate in my daily life, I suppose you're saying. I own a small company and I go to folks' houses. You know what? Talk to me about that. What do you do, TJ? What is your business like? I'm starting my own business, so I'm kind of curious to hear what your process is. I don't, if you're willing to let us to talk to us all about that. You don't have to if you don't want to, but just kind of curious. Yeah, I guess as a business owner, you gotta be careful, but I gotta be honest with you. I don't want to do business with people that are Trump supporters. I mean, yeah. Wonder if the world would go off social media and never go back on. Could it crash the advertising industry? Maybe big companies ride. The problem with scenarios like that, Mike, is that it's the same thing as like asking or saying, oh, the internet might go offline. So again, I work in IT. I know how the internet works. It's not this giant machine that you can switch off. It's made up of like literally thousands of different networks. 20 years, former psychologist, chimney sweep. Oh, chimney sweep. Okay, cool. Interesting. Chimney sweeping is better than psychology as far as making money. Probably, I could, if that's true, I could vouch for that. Well, not me personally, but my mother is a psychotherapist, and I feel like she kind of struggles. Worked corporate for 20 years. Yeah, no, I won't be. If you watch my last video, I will not be. I will not be working corporate probably ever again. If I do, it'll be very short term, just to make a few bucks after a couple months, and then dart the hell back out. Because after this, I've already had a few bad experiences, and after this last one, it just kind of burned me out completely. Don't understand how Ben Shapiro supports Trump. I don't understand how anybody supports Trump. I feel like that it should be how does anyone support Trump? Seems like he's wasting his intelligence. Well, what intelligence? He supports Trump. If someone still supports Trump right now, that says more about who they are, right, than why they're doing it. I don't know. That is some good Joe, man. Now I'm out of it now. I don't have anything left. Just gulped it all down. Okay. I would have asked Charlie Kirk about Trump being a rapist in the open. I mean, he would have just denied. He would just blown you off in some crafty way. That's all Charlie Kirk would have done. I mean, Charlie Kirk would have just been another one of this podcast. If he would have never been shot and killed, he would have been another one of those people that when Trump has started kind of going downhill, like all those other podcasters did, they're starting to separate themselves a little bit, kind of like start being more open about what Trump is doing that's wrong, not fully going away from him, just starting to kind of talk more openly about it. Because they're slowly starting to shift the tide away from that and over to, because looking for the future. I mean, these people are going to continue. They want to continue to make money in the future, and Trump is dying. Like not just literally, but figuratively. Like he's the whole Trump idea is dying. It would just be. They wouldn't. So that's what Charlie Kirk would do. Like all these podcasters are doing right now, is start slowly walking this back, and supporting whatever next conservative crap they have in line. Only isolated folks longing for a meeting and in group. Yeah. I mean. And here's the saddest part about this is everybody focuses on the Demo. I swear it's always this is just a pattern. People always focus on what the Democrats did wrong while they were in power. But so often do you ever hear, and part of this is Democrats' fault. They're not good at this. But so often, once Trump in this regime is out of office, it's going to be a lot of people are going to try to say I told you so. Remember this, remember that, and then nobody will actually talk about all this horrific shit. That's what I think is really going to happen. I think this is all going to blow over, which in some way, shape, or form or another, it's probably get a lot worse as we go on, but then blow over, and then all of a sudden we're talking like people just don't have we don't remember 2025 or 2026 or all the crap that happened. Even if you try to bring that up, nobody's gonna. They're just being quiet. They're not gonna say anything. Don't overlook the in-group. Yeah, I mean that's. What do you mean by in-group? I guess Donald Trump represents conservatives. Who the hell would want to be conservative? I mean, yeah, I think that the used to be. I think the reason why Democrats take a lot of crap is they are often more like a social or like a socialist platform, and the Soviet Union ruined that word socialism. It's a scary word to Americans. In reality, Americans take part in socialism quite often in this country. Your welfare shit is straight socialism. Just letting you know, that's legit socialism, and of course they go after that and all that stuff. But the same people that go after are the same people that use it. So, and I don't mind it. I mean, again, socialism to me is not a scary word. And the Soviet Union was not a socialist country. The Nazis were not socialist. Both of those government parties were simply either communist or authoritarian. A little bit of both, in my opinion. Who debates people to turn them Democrats? Not very, at least historically, not very many people. That's the problem. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, the one thing that I will always give Democrats like shit for is that they're really not good at talking to American people. It's a problem. Now, in this last year, I've seen a hell of a lot more of that. I think newer Democrats or younger Democrats they value we need to get out and be saying things, talking about things, right? Like I do. But traditionally, Democrats have not been good at that, and that's a problem, right? They don't market themselves really well, and that's an issue. I agree. Believe there's others that believe what they do, even though their peers don't agree. Peers, they're the most intelligent ones. I don't know. I'll be honest, sometimes these all say stuff I have no idea what you're talking about. I gotta be honest. I'm just, I'll be completely honest with you. Believe there are others who believe they do, even though their peers don't agree. I'm not sure what you mean by that, honestly. I could just be having a dumb moment, though, too, so don't worry. It's probably not you, it's probably more like me. Let's see here. Move this back over here for a moment. Parker and Dean. I don't think I've heard of those. Let me look them up. Parker. Let's see. Democrat debater. I have not heard of these folks. I'll have to do some research on them. Parker, get a job. So yes, the other thing is like, oh man, with that attitude, you're never gonna have. You're never gonna have good things if your response to everything is get a job. Let's see. Of course, I don't know what I'm talking about either. It could be like talking on my ass right now, probably. Destroyed Charlie. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm talking on my ass right now. I shouldn't even say anything. Dean Withers. One liberal teen versus 20 Trump supporters. Wow. 18.7 million. I'm surprised I haven't heard of these folks. It's weird. Huh. Well, I will have to do some reading and some watching of these people. That's awesome. Thanks for letting me know about that. See, Trump love is... okay, so everyone thinks their Trump love is bad, yet they think there's an entire army of folks that agree with them. Oh, yeah. I suppose you were saying. They get isolated due to Trump, then they see confirmation online. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the internet in general, though, I think. It's just a lot of people... I mean, Trump supporters, for sure. I don't know. Again, I say that at some point we'll have to put them back under their rock. I mean, yeah, I honestly don't think it would be too hard. It's not very hard to debate people on the right. You know, the biggest issue with debating people on the right is the fact that the people on the right are perfectly okay with not with facts not being there, right? So, I mean, right wingers typically think it's funny to personally insult somebody, right? And I'm not saying this to like be I'm mad. I'm saying legitimately, right wingers typically think that it's like it's a legit art like I don't know if any other term to say, but like a legit argument to personally insult somebody or to, you know, like stereotype something or whatever. They just it's hard to describe. Like they like shitty talking points. Right wingers love, right, and there doesn't even have to be any context behind it. They just love it. Whereas Democrats, they actually want context behind what the fuck you're talking about, or else they don't care what you just said, right? And that's the issue with debating right versus left is that you really have to be crafty and kind of take advantage of talking points in a way. Um, People don't care about learning and lack of passion. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like debating with people on the right, you can't just rely on facts. They don't care. Like they don't care to be educated. They just have an agenda that they want to fill, right? Or want to live by. I don't know. And that's the problem. Is like you really can't win with that unless you kind of are also bullshitting as well, which is I think a lot of people think is too low, and I would agree with that. It's just that then they win, you know. Yeah, debated Charlie Kirk, Piers, Bench Park. Yeah, I'm sure they have. I am sure they have. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm glad to see a lot more of this. That's what I'm saying. I think this tide is going to turn now, right? That the tide is going to turn now that we have a lot more people on board with the left, you know. And I think honestly at this point now to say like the left, what we're really talking about is everybody else versus MAGA at this point. Like I think at this very moment, it's really everybody else versus MAGA. It's just the reality. I will definitely watch those debates. I will not watch them right now because I don't really care at the moment to like, you know, goggle the stream. I honestly I don't think streaming anything with Charlie Kirk in it right now is a good idea for other reasons. But I will definitely watch those for sure. Don't get me wrong. Blue wave. I hope so. I hope we get a blue wave. We kind of need one. I think if we don't, it's a problem. The left's problem is right or wrong. Yeah, kind of have to agree with you there. I don't like to be that extreme either, though. Because again, usually I'm pretty central, you know, about my views. But again, when the right has gotten so extreme in their politics, it's you know, and they don't care to actually you know fact check themselves or to actually promote. They act like they want a better society, but in reality, they just want to push their bullshit agenda. They don't care, and so it yeah, you have problems like that. So, but I don't know. I'm just talking. No shit. Well, you know, that's how it is. Discriminate against third world countries. Yeah. I mean, I feel like we can just sit here and go on and on and on about the right, you know, and how bad they are. But I think I don't want to do that forever because I just feel like it's. I mean, I guess right now maybe people want that. Maybe people really want that. Maybe people really want to, you know, bash the right at this point. I don't know, but protect pedophile president, protect and pedophiles. I mean, that's yeah. I don't know. At some point, it honestly gets a little bit frustrating to do content like this because you're like, it's just so obvious. It's just so obvious where the problem lies, you know. And I think honestly, when I started uploading videos on YouTube like this, it wasn't maybe as obvious. It started to be obvious, but it was still a little bit. There was still a little bit of back and forth, and now it's just gotten so. Literally within a few months, it's gotten so freaking obvious who is right and who is wrong in this world. I just, again, if you are still in support of Donald Trump and the radical Republicans, you are legitimately on the wrong side of history. I think it's just fucking obvious at this point. I mean, I don't know. It's frustratingly obvious, you know, when people still do not. I mean, again, if they're not, I don't think the question anymore is who is right and who is wrong. The question now is, how do we just bury the radical Republicans in the dirt, you know, to like get out of it, just go back under your rock, because you guys are screwing up everything good that society in general has at this point. You know, you've proven you're the bad guys. You know, that's just frustrating. In the left, there's nothing right. In the right, there's nothing left. I don't know what the hell. I feel like that's getting just too stupid at this point. Most on both sides are basically broke, struggling, and super frustrated right now, but totally on the same page. Economy, business model is not complex. Yeah, I mean, I'm saying it's like, I think we've dug ourselves. I mean, again, if I go back and look 15 years ago, it was, you know. The debate was climate change, right? Y'all remember that? Climate change? And you don't even hear about that anymore. It's just, yeah, howdy. How's it going, man? Welcome back to another live stream. You were here last time. But anyways, the debate was climate change, and now it's just, I don't know, now I'm not even sure what we're arguing at this point. You know, is it right to shoot somebody? I mean, that's just, it's gotten so stupid. You know, it's frustrating to talk about politics right now. Went to the Springfield protest today. Was a couple hundred people there. That's cool. Yeah. I think Charlie Kirk deep down knew Donald Trump was doing bullshit. I think he, of course, I truly think, that's what I'm saying. I don't feel bad. Like, I don't like how don't get me wrong, I don't really like, of course don't like, how Charlie Kirk died. But it's just like, people give so much credit, and Charlie Kirk lives rent-free in people's heads. He was not a good person. He was a scammer. Right? I mean, it was graphic how he died, obviously. But that does not make him, we should not put him on a pedestal now and say, look how amazing of a person he was. He was not. He was a scammer. He knew what Trump would do and all these. I mean, it was obvious. Anyone with half a brain knew, you know, that Project 2025 was in the works with Republicans and Trump. It was obvious. And, I mean, yeah, it's just, I don't want to sit here and act like Charlie Kirk dying was a good thing, but at the same time, I'm not going to put him on a pedestal, right? It's just, that's the issue. Why aren't more famous? If I can talk, why aren't there more famous people that are who are Democrats? Because Democrats generally suck at talking to the American people. Like I was saying earlier, he was a bigot straight up, yeah. Charlie Kirk was one of them he should have known, but he did know better. That's what I'm saying. Charlie Kirk, that's why I give him shit. Charlie Kirk knew better. He knew these were horrible things he was preaching. The man literally talked about we can't have gun control. Yeah, he literally said, yeah, people will die. He literally admitted more guns is a bad thing, but for us to have gun rights, that's just the way it's got to be. People have to die. And you know what the hell happened to him? It happened to him. He literally got exactly what he was preaching for. Which, I'm not saying it's a good thing. That's my point, though. Is he straight up? I mean, what else do you? What else is there? That's how he got what he preached. We ended a war. We're not going through this again, especially at the expense of our own country. Well, you know what? Chat. Everybody. Everybody in chat right now. Now, I realize you're not usually supposed to do this and say this and talk about this. Who did you vote for? Who did you vote for in 2024? Who did you vote for? Let's find out. Don't lie. I want everybody who's been chatting up at Storm right now to be talking. Who did you vote for? Pay the price what you needed to keep. Harris. Yep, there we go. Harris. I learned something. So far we have 2 for Harris. Dario, who did you vote for? Put you on the spot, Dario. Who'd you vote for? We have 3 for Harris. Everybody here is a Harris person so far. So I think I mean there's literally more people watching. You didn't vote, Dario. Oh, okay. All right. I don't vote, I hate it. Oh, Dario. Oh, Dario. Okay. So 3 folks that voted for Harris. Good job. Dario, you're the reason why we have a problem in this country. I'm sorry to point you out and single you out like that, but I gotta be honest with you. If you didn't vote or you voted for Republican, you're the problem. You are the problem. And if you unsubscribe from my channel because of what I just said to you, then that's fine. Exactly. You can't complain if you didn't vote. If you don't vote and you care about politics, you don't care about politics. I mean, that's like driving a car and like I don't know, or like or loving the idea, loving cars but not owning one, or I don't know. I guess like maybe you can't own one or something. I was expecting that. I mean, Dario, why don't you vote? I mean, like you say it's stupid. Why is it stupid? I'm losing viewers now. People are like, fuck this. People hate that. They hate being told they should vote. They don't like that. They don't like anything that's not convenient to them. Yeah, quote, my vote is irrelevant. It's not. Your vote is not irrelevant. I have voted in every single election, including the midterms, since I had the ability to vote. Now, I'm not saying that always worked out for me in my favor, but that's also okay. Well, yeah, so you and I, Lucky, both live in Missouri, okay? Don't get me wrong, but that's what I'm saying. I still think it's relevant to vote. Our tally still makes. I didn't like Kamala Harris either. Yeah, but do you think okay, Dario, it would have been better under Harris than Trump. I think it's hard, especially now. It would be hard to argue at this point. You know, I'm not going to vote for Harris. You know, she would have been much better than Donald Trump. I didn't like how she mocked God and was pro-choice. I mean, so would you hate Trump worse than why didn't you vote for Harris? Sometimes you vote just because you know the other side is so incredibly bad. I mean, again, if I had to vote between George W. Bush and Donald Trump, I would still vote for George W. Bush. Where is your God? He caused all this shit. That's a very good point. You know, why would we even have to vote if God's around there to help us? Oh man. MAGA love this. George W. Bush is not the worst president. Maybe at one point in time pretty low, but again, compared to Trump, no. Trump is I think the worst. Sorry. That's all I'm going to say about that. I think it's pretty obvious. Yes, we all see what George Bush did. We all know what he did. We were all there. I think we were all there anyway. Do you believe in the supposed UAP alien disclosure coming in 2027? You know, I watched a UAP alien thing like a couple of years ago, like in 2023, when Congress did that thing. I don't know what the fuck that's all. I mean, that's a good topic to talk about. You know, hopefully we get to talk about some other things, just politics some days on this channel, which I'd love to do. I'd love to like talk about not just politics, by the way. I mean, a lot of politics plays into this stuff, but yeah. I'm gonna get back to that UAP thing here in a second, but I want to read these other comments. It was like that South Park episode covered in Clinton-Trump election. Voted and was stumbling out of I mean, yeah, and don't get me. So here's the other thing, guys. Like, in presidential elections, you can vote in the primaries as well, because you usually have like a list of candidates that are relatively different from each other, and again, go to the primaries, vote for what primary candidate you want, then they get up to the main election. Yeah, I mean, I'm not defending George W. Bush completely. I don't care for the guy politically either. But the problem is like whenever, again, if you put him up next to Donald Trump, it's like, I'm sorry to say this and make this comparison, but it's like putting me or I don't know, name a decent person that's really probably not qualified for the job compared to Adolf Hitler. That's what we're doing here. That's the extremism. You don't get if Donald Trump is on the ballot, or if someone like Trump is on the ballot, you don't get the option of I'm just not going to vote because both parties suck. It's not like that anymore. In a normal election, okay, maybe. When Trump is on the ballot, or someone else like Trump is on the ballot, not caring about voting is what gets you in trouble. Oh, jeez. What's going on over here? Someone texting me? No. I'm going to turn my phone off so you all don't have to listen to that. Sorry about that. There we go. So, what are you talking about, Daria? Bush killed much more people than Trump did. Are you talking about the war? Well, so here's the thing. Trump hasn't had enough time yet to actually... You're actually going to put Trump morally over Bush. I'm actually surprised to hear that. That's fucked. That's fucked up, dude. That's really bad. I don't know how to... I honestly, man, I don't know what the fuck is up with that. I gotta be honest. I mean, so here's the other thing. Honestly, it seems like when you make an argument like that, it just seems like you're overlooking so much of what Trump has already done before he was even president. I mean, Trump has done a lot of horrible shit. But that's what the Epstein files are. The Epstein files, the whole point of the Epstein files and things like that is to prove, hey, look how much shit Trump did even before he was in office. I mean... So here's the other thing, too. Bush got us into... Don't get me wrong, I don't support him getting us into a war, but it was post 9/11. And America and Congress, by the way, the one thing that Bush... I'll tell you something else. When Bush went to Iraq, it was done with congressional approval. Trump has not gotten Congress' approval for almost any fucking thing he's done. He doesn't do things legally, and that's the other difference. Truly believe 47 would go nuclear. Oh yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Trump would. If you think Trump is at all like gonna. If this is again, Trump is not done yet, guys. Trump. We're talking. Trump, without congressional approval, is talking about invading Greenland. Do you know what that means? He's also talking about. I mean, the damage that Trump is doing. Bush never went against NATO allies. That's a much larger thing than Bush ever did. Okay, sorry, Trump is going after NATO allies. Bush didn't, right? So, what are you talking about, man? That's weird. I'm gonna start. I might have to start ignoring your comments because that's just fuck. That's just. I mean, I want to talk to you about this stuff, but I don't know, man. That's some interesting. I mean, I think it's a good example of like why Trump still has support. Honestly, is because like you're not thinking this through with him. Like, I mean, starting wars with many different countries versus one country is bad, much worse. You know. Bush is a rash person. Trump isn't. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't really care for Bush politically either. It's just that, against Donald Trump, I feel like it's obvious. Yeah. This is the plan. I know. He played golf around 90 days so far in his year. Dude, honestly, when Trump first got elected in 2024, I gotta be honest with you, my first reaction was, I hope he just fucking plays golf the entire time. Like, I don't like the fact that nothing's gonna get done, but Trump actually gives a shit about things right now. Like, I'm not saying in the right way, obviously in the wrong way, but Trump is getting nothing done. Or I'm sorry, I'm sorry, my brain is frying at this point. He is doing everything that I don't want him to do, and if he just would have played golf this entire I would have been okay with that. Like, not that I really wanted that, but it would be better than what's happening now. Sorry. Trump killed thousands because I mean Trump is more than thousands. I mean, it was millions of people died as a result of COVID. Thanks, Donald Trump. I mean, I can look that up on stream if you really want me to and show you, but yeah. The golf trips where he sells America out. Probably, yeah. Miller here, yeah. I mean, honestly, Trump is not really running the country. He just, that's what I'm saying is, now, when he starts, blowing up shit in Venezuela and, abducting the president and things like that, sure, it's a lot of, I think that really is him, but I think most of the stuff that's happening behind closed doors is not Trump. Do I think he RAPE'd women? Are you talking about Trump? Yes, I do. I fully believe Trump has done that, unfortunately. That sucks. It's disgusting, but it's true. Dara, you're kind of all over the place, man. I'm not really sure what you're up to. You're like either in support of all what I'm saying, or like you're like, no, Trump's not as bad as, or is not as bad as Bush. And I'm like, I don't fucking understand. That was a partially, yeah, probably. Dario's his boy. Oh, man. I don't know. Like I said, sometimes it's hard to get on here and, I don't know. I can't wait till we get back to a world where I can do YouTube videos. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love politics, but this is not the kind of politics I want to talk about. To be perfectly honest with you, like I want to go back talking about just normal shit, not like, oh, do you think he did that to girls? I'm like, oh my fucking god, like just debating stuff like that is so tiring. It's like, oh, we gotta actually like define what is right and wrong now. Jesus. Isn't Project 2025? I honestly think Project 2025 has been walked back a bit. I mean, they've gotten a lot of things done, but they've also struggled to make it stick properly. Um, I don't know. Maybe I'm overlooking some stuff here, but I just feel like they tried to roll it out too quickly. I feel like if it would have been more methodically done, like over this next 4 years, they would have had more success getting things to stick. Um, Apparently, YouTube is having a problem with my stream. It's weird. What's going on? I'm not dropping any frames. Oh no, I am dropping frames. You guys, hold on 1 second. I think my stream is messed up. Are we done dropping frames? Apparently not. Okay. Let me let this thing catch up with itself a little bit. Are you all able to hear and see me a little bit? Just want to make sure. I think we're okay right now, but it appears that we're having an issue. Or we were having an issue anyway. Oh, wow. Something's messed up with my thing. I might need to restart the stream, guys. I think... Yeah, I'm really tanking right. I'm not even sure I'm properly live at the moment. No, hold on 1 second. Okay, everything is fine. Okay, I'm gonna assume we're okay. OBS is saying I'm dropping frames. So... I'll watch for you to go live again. Yeah, I might have... I feel like I'm having some network issues. I need to replace my router. It's almost spooky. I'm not even sure why I'm talking, because you're probably not even hearing what I'm saying. But my router sometimes crashes, and this is what happens as a result. Okay. Okay, I don't know if this is going to work or not. I wonder what's going on here. Why am I struggling to do anything? Oh, my internet is... Usually my ISP is pretty good, but tonight we're kind of, we're struggling. Okay, I think we're okay right now. Gosh dang it. Every time I say that, it seems like it goes back down again. Oh, this is bull crap. We can't be having this kind of crap. Yeah, I don't know. I might have to end the stream, guys, and figure out what's going on. I cannot seem to get this thing to stabilize. It seems like it's okay right now at this moment, but we'll see. Okay. I think we're okay for the moment, so let's keep an eye on it. And... Oh, no, it goes back down again. What the flip? Refresh this again. Okay. Yeah, this is not going to work. Alright, I'm going to leave a comment in the chat. I don't know how much this is actually getting out, but I'm going to leave a comment in the chat and just say my stream keeps crapping out. So, I'll end it early tonight, guys, and see what's going on, see if I can fix this issue, and then maybe schedule another live stream at some other time. But, yeah.